I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News tonight. Prime Minister pleads for climate change funding. Lawyer fined for using delaying tactics in court. And businesses asked to give the disabled a chance as gainful employment. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has told world leaders Fiji needs to adapt to the challenges of climate change as a matter of urgency. Bainimarama made these comments at the high-level ministerial dialogue on climate finance in Marrakesh, Morocco, seeking appropriate fundings to make this a reality. Rachel Nath reports.
Bainimarama made a plea for the funds needed to fight climate change.
We must future-proof our economy and the livelihoods and well-being of our people as quickly as possible. And to do that, we need substantial sums to strengthen homes and infrastructure and increase our ability to withstand these events.
The Prime Minister pointed out there is a need for a renewed sense of political will on the part of the global community, and particularly the industrial nations, to give climate adaptation financing the priority it deserves.
For small island developing states, our advocacy on climate change is not because it is fashionable. For us, it is about survival. We are forced to confront a challenge not of our own making. However, we remain steadfast in our resolve to overcome this challenge.
Bainimarama recommended existing bilateral funding sources consider the Green Climate Fund model, where resources are equally allocated between mitigation and adaptation. He also appealed for concrete steps to provide $100 billion a year for climate adaptation by 2020. He says there should be a full grant-based financing because of particular challenges faced in the region. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has made a special appeal to United States President-elect Donald Trump for a personal change of his views and a public change of policy on climate change. While speaking at the COP22 in Marrakesh, Morocco, Bainimarama invited Donald Trump to visit Fiji and see first-hand effects of climate change. He says if Trump cuts the U.S. contribution to reduce carbon emissions and withdraws from the Paris Agreement, it will be disastrous.
Please take another look at the overwhelming scientific consensus on the man-made effects of global warming. Please come as a matter of urgency to see for yourself the devastating impact that rising sea levels and extreme weather events are already having on our peoples and our way of life. President-elect Trump, I formally invite you to Fiji and promise you the warmest of welcomes. We will show you how we are already having to move entire communities out of the way of the rising seas. And you can meet the families of the 44 Fijians who were killed last February by the biggest tropical cyclone ever to make landfall in the southern hemisphere.
Climate change remains our biggest security threat. National Security Strategy Review Committee Chair Salah Teleni says this is a security issue that Fiji and the Pacific region is dealing with now.
National security is about the survival and well-being of the people, and this is at risk now more than ever due to climate change. National Security Strategy Review Committee Chair Salah Teleni says climate change brings with it new security challenges.
The movement of settlement from coastline to inland, that will impact on the national security because it will impact on the culture of the people. They're moving to new grounds, they occupy new places, and that will challenge the leadership in making sound decisions so that there is no threat to our national security.
Teleni was speaking at the Lambasa Civic Center during a public consultation on the National Security Strategy Policy Paper, which was passed in Parliament earlier this year. He says the National Security Strategy was put together to enable Fiji to respond to the ever-changing security environment.
When the security culture and the security environment is changing, new things appear, or new problems appear, or new threats appear.
The committee is also holding public consultations on the establishment of the Fiji Police Force and Fiji Military Forces White Paper.
With the first draft now in place, or completed the first draft, what we are doing now is getting opinions and views of the people, which can support and help the building and the strengthening of the White Paper.
The National Security Strategy Review Committee will be in Vonoi for 3 days before moving to other parts of the country to hold similar consultations. Eleanor Turangabiu, FBC News.
A 38-year-old man who'd been on the run for 2 months appeared in court this afternoon. Vinesh Kumar Raj, also known as Vinesh Kumar Raj, a cane cutter, is charged with absconding bail and alleged in court that he was tortured by police. Shireen Shivan reports.
Vinesh Kumar Raj had been evading police since March and was arrested in Lambasa following a tip-off last weekend. Raj is charged with obtaining advantage by deception but failed to appear in court, and a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. Things then took a bizarre turn. He was caught in August and had to be admitted at St. Giles Hospital after he tried to harm himself. Raj escaped from the hospital and went into hiding. Police began a nationwide manhunt during which 3 women came forward, claiming they had been raped by this man. Prosecution today made an application for Raj to be remanded for 14 days because there are 5 pending cases against him and he is using 2 different names, which needs clarification. The accused questioned why the prosecution needs 14 days, saying this can be done in few days. According to prosecution, police have to travel around Vitilevu to investigate the cases. Raj then told the court to make an order for police not to torture him. Magistrate Chochi Bosiwanga told him if he is tortured, he can make a complaint to the Police Internal Affairs Unit, the Fiji Human Rights Commission, or even inform the court in the next hearing. Vinesh Kumar Raj is yet to be charged for allegedly raping 3 women. He is already charged for allegedly obtaining advantage by deception and is now charged with absconding bail. The matter has been adjourned to December 1st. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Lawyer Iqbal Khan, the defense counsel for the 9 men found guilty of raping and sexually assaulting now deceased Vilikesa Soko, has been ordered to pay $1,000 to the prosecution. Judge Justice Aruna Aluthki applied Section 150 of the Criminal Procedures Decree after Khan filed an application for a stay in the sentencing of his clients. Ellen Stolz has the story.
Iqbal Khan was to deliver mitigation for his 9 clients who are guilty of rape, sexual assault, attempted rape and 2 charged with defeating the cause of justice. However, he filed an urgent stay application asking the court to delay sentencing. Judge Justice Aruna Aluthki has denied the stay order and instead ordered Khan to pay $2,000 in penalty, $1,000 for him and another $1,000 for his 9 clients. Justice Aluthki says this was not the first time Khan had employed a delaying tactic, referring to an earlier application for no case to answer. The judge says Khan's motion, which the state strongly objected to, had no grounds and was done with the intention of obstructing justice. State Prosecutor Lee Burney also told the court this morning that the motion to stay was raised at the wrong forum. Khan was not present in court today. However, a colleague appeared on his behalf and asked for more time so they can file mitigation submissions. They will also be calling 3 witnesses. Mitigation for the 9 accused is on Monday, with the sentencing on Tuesday. The 9 have been found guilty of raping and sexually assaulting now deceased Vilikesa Soko and Sanjani Mboila, who were arrested on suspicion of robbery in 2014. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, trucking industry wants modernised laws. And Fiji's first ever fisheries policy in the making. Stay with us.
Mrs. Maninrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Golabinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic hit music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Road Haulage Association wants specific laws in place to provide proper and clear instructions for trucking companies buying new assets. This, according to the association, will help reduce the problem of overloading. Roland Koroy reports.
With a national crackdown on overloading to save Fiji roads, refleeting would seem like the best option for many companies, which continue to be booked.
If you were to refleet, if our members want to refleet, what do they refleet to? Prior to this, if you were to have a 10-wheeler, the manufacturer specification would not be recognized. So you need to have a figure to guide you when you refleet.
According to Hector Smith, some companies and individuals penalized for overloading are victims of archaic laws.
Some of the overloading they talk about is people on the old weight of a 21 gross instead of a 26,000 gross on a 10-wheeler. So really, in a way, it's not overloading.
The Land Transport Authority has been unreachable, but is expected to call a media conference on this issue tomorrow. The Fiji Roads Authority, on the other hand, have not held back.
When we design and build roads for a certain weight limit, and we maintain to those design criteria, if someone overloads their vehicles, it ruins all that good work. And unfortunately, the broader taxpayer of Fiji has to bear the cost of that.
184 bookings for overloading were made between June and September. Roland Koroy, FBC News.
The Fisheries Ministry is putting together a national policy to achieve various development objectives in the next 5 years. This will be the first policy in the region that deals with the fisheries environment. Savaira Tambua has more.
Development partners, government representatives and relevant stakeholders are working in conjunction to establish not only Fiji's first ever national fisheries policy, but one for the region as well. Pacific Islands Forum Fisheries Agency says the policy will allow development and create jobs.
So Fiji becomes one of the first countries in the Pacific to actually have a national fisheries policy, which is fantastic, and that gives direction and clear objectives to all three sectors. So aquaculture, the inshore fishery and the offshore fishery are all basically going in the same direction, trying to achieve the same objectives.
Fisheries Minister Semi Koroilabisau says he is committed to ensuring Fijians are able to make a decent living without putting a strain on marine resources.
The Ministry will endeavour to improve its research and development competencies to assist the resilience of coastal-based villages and settlements to natural disasters through adaptation strategies to restocking their reefs, re-establishing Makongai Fisheries Station, and improving the policies to minimize illegal, unregistered and unregulated fishing.
The contribution of the fisheries sector to the economy is projected at about 1.8% for 2016, and the ministry is expected to further these performances with strategic and coordinated efforts in the national fisheries policy. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
People with disabilities should be absorbed into the workforce. The Executive Director of the Fiji National Council of Disabled Persons, Sitiveni Yanuyanutawa, says work gives them an opportunity to engage with society and not be excluded. Kelly Vadala with this report.
The 2013 Constitution clearly states that every person with a disability has the right to working arrangement, rules and practices which enable full participation in society.
They usually
controlled by a lot of mixed emotions. And most of these emotions are including depressions and anger and, they are unhappy in life. And when they're given an opportunity to be part of the workforce, that's a big plus for them.
Minister for Employment and Productivity Chanil Samati says the local businesses have an obligation to give persons with disabilities a chance at gainful employment.
Certain percentage of the people that they have working, they should consider taking on people with disabilities, so they have their own rights.
Many of these people with special needs are already involved in the workforce, but that doesn't mean an end to the discrimination they face.
I believe society has to give us the chance for us to work. We should not just be discriminated, because of our disabilities.
You can only know how good they are if you give them a chance. And really, there are people out here who are really as good as those that can walk.
Most of them now, the families are dependent on them because they can buy food and they can pay the bills.
Executive Director Sitiveni Yanu Tawa says people of society, especially employers, should not look at the disability of a person but the ability to perform. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
The youngest cancer patient in Fiji is a 3-month-old baby admitted at the Lautoka Hospital last week. The news comes as WOW's Kids Fiji wraps up its annual fundraising drive to support children living with cancer. Pranita Prakash has more.
61 children living with cancer are being assisted by WOW's Kids Fiji. As the Walk On, Walk Strong, Shave or Safe campaign comes to an end this month, Chair Makarava Wilson is calling on parents to get their children tested early.
We always been talking about early warning signs. If you should come across any signs that you see with your children, please do not hesitate to take them to the hospital to get checked. It could be any of these sicknesses that we are talking about.
Silver businessman Dev Damodar is shaving his head this Saturday as a means to raise funds for WOWs and is calling on people to support the worthy cause.
I'm very proud to say that the enormous public support that came out. I think 80% of our funding came from public, not corporate. The main aim was to go out to public out there. And look, we really want to thank everyone personally that every dollar will save a life.
WOW's founder Sinakami says they have received huge support and is hoping this will continue in years to come. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Sports now. Here's Jamie with all the very latest.
Rakajaki and good evening. Coming up in sports, Fiji residents register win in second encounter. And the latest from the Pacific Cup. This and more after the break.
Rango mila kere antiterroga, ando umaruta kana warronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na siya.
Ang nga tao niyo na sino, ito na talita ka ng warronga ng Bula FM.
Natango sarvino ng bose, natango bikara din bao. Ito do talita ka ng warronga ng Bula FM, Korgo. Bula FM, number 2 na siya.
Ewan na utungan ng Bula FM, number 2 na siya, Erambasa.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
A last-minute try by Moses Ngeoni Madhawa saw the Vodafone Fiji Residents Rugby League team secure a 2018 win over the English Community Lions at Lawanga Park, Singatoka yesterday. This win gives the hosts a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series after the first match ended in a draw. Meli Tavanga reports.
They come back right in.
Fiji residents captain Sevanaya Kuroi say he is proud of his players for the effort in ensuring the home side came away with a win.
We tend to slow down we didn't get a good start, but we keep rolling, and then after the halftime we build up a momentum, and then it's resulted in a last-minute try that we just scored. And hats off to the boys for the strong and clean game.
After their first match last weekend, the Fijian side devised a game plan to counter the visitors.
After the game on Saturday last week, it was a game, and then we knew that the British were very strong in just beside the ruck. So we tried to go out wide, and that That's why we try that we played outside.
The Joe Rambele coach side have now set its sights on the third game on Saturday.
I just told the boys forget about the last 2 games, and we try to win the last game so we can settle everything.
These matches are being used to build up to the 2017 World Rugby to be played in Australia. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji 7 side beat teams from more than 200 countries to win the Best Male Team of Rio 2016 award at the Association of National Olympic Committees awards ceremony in Doha yesterday. A new national football team coach is expected to be named by next month. From 25 applicants, 10 have been shortlisted and a decision is expected from the Fiji FA by mid-December. Rohit Deo with the story.
A short one,
Nearly 2 months after the sacking of our last national coach Frank Farina and just 4 months before our first FIFA World Cup Stage 3 qualifier, Fiji is still without a mentor.
We have got the short list, about 9 to 10 of them from the 25 that applied. Patrick Jacquemet has already recommended, and the ones he don't recommend. And now it's with our technical department, our technical director Ravinesh Kumar, and we'll sit down, shortlist it. We've got interest from France, we've got interest from Austria, Australia, New Zealand, and one of the African countries too.
Fiji FA President Rajesh Patel says the selection process should not take too long now.
Once they shortlist, there will be criteria-wise and everything. We hope to put it by midweek December. We should be having it.
Meanwhile, the teams to play in the next Champions vs Champions series will be decided in a board meeting later this week.
Both the teams are bar now, so we'll have to see, and we'll look at the last season, which is the National League season, which is ended, and IDC is the current new season, which has ended. So it will be maybe the second team of the National League. I'm not sure. The board has to meet and decide.
Bar won last season's inter-district title and this year's National League title, making it an automatic qualifier for the CVC. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, it was confirmed this afternoon that Mba will play Lautoka for the CVC title in January next year. Pacific Cup defending champion Nandi defeated Mba 2-0 in its first match last night. Here are the goals.
And taken by Elimo Tamachese. On by Rusiati, a good one it is too, and following through is Andrew Niker. And Andrew Niker in the 20th minute of play, nodded on. And Niker has got Nandi side their first goal of this game here. To Elvin Prasad. Elvin, a quick one to find Andrew Niker. Niker from that far touchline side. Cuts it back infield, then to Elvin. Elvin lines up a shot across, and Rusiati Matarenga following through. And Rusiati Matarenga in the 7th minute of play into the second half here has put Nandi up by 2-0, following through from that cross.
After years of trying, Lambasa 1 finally achieved their dream, becoming champions of the Fiji Primary Schools athletics competition in the north. They collected 20 gold medals, 7 silver and 14 bronze to claim the overall title. Eleanor Turangaviu reports.
It took them 10 weeks to train and their hard work paid off. Lambasa 1 being declared the overall winners of the 2016 Northern Chow Games.
We've been trying this for the last few years, and I think it's all about the preparation phase. We've really prepared well, and we were on the run to win the overall title.
Lambasa 1 also scooped the award for overall winners in both the boys and girls division, as well as the best female and male athletes. The girls collected 13 gold medals, 5 silver and 7 bronze. The boys collected 7 gold, 2 silver and 6 bronze medals.
We are all winners in our own way, because whatever we have gained from the 2-day meet will boost us as far as athletics is concerned.
The Vioni came in second place with 9 gold, 14 silver and 8 bronze medals, while Level is third with 9 gold, 4 silver and 11 bronze. The Fiji Primary Schools Athletics Association is pleased with the outcome of the games yesterday and is even prepared for a bigger and better outing next year.
They're all looking forward. I know that some of the zones couldn't make it because of the cyclone Winston, but look at the financial part, they are all looking forward to coming next year.
A team that attracted a lot of attention was the under-9 4x100 meter girls relay team from Reketi, who won gold in the finals. And to mark the closing for the two-day event, mothers from the 12 participating zones took to the tracks to also display their athletic abilities. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Jackie's up next with business.
Illegal operators have been a threat to the Fiji Rental Car Association for years now. In a meeting with the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority this morning, the association highlighted the government is losing revenue as illegal operators don't pay the service turnover tax, environmental levy and the $10 stamp duty. FERCA Acting Principal Auditor Ratish Chand also agrees this is an issue for the tax agency.
There's a policy, whistleblower policy. You can always come to us, write to us. At the end of that, you will assist FRCA and yourself being a compliant taxpayer in the economy, as well assist the government collecting a fair tax revenue from the taxpayers.
The sun shone brilliantly across the country today with no sign of any significant rain. Looking at the temperatures, most centres were recorded in the lower 30s, with Lambasa being the warmest at 33 degrees. For tomorrow, beautiful sunny conditions are likely to prevail over most of Fiji. And our further outlook, we're looking further on to Saturday. Much of the nation will enjoy sunny periods with a slight chance of few showers in the east. At sea, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate seas. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Prime Minister pleads for climate change funding, lawyer fined for using delaying tactics in court, and businesses asked to give the disabled a chance as gainful employment. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to our poll question this week, we are asking, is social media becoming a problem for Fiji? To answer, visit our FBC website. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. That was news for tonight. Join the team and I again tomorrow. Good night.